Hey guys, welcome back to Just a Geek in the Garage. So today I want to talk about Walmart tools. Some that are made in the USA, some that are assembled in the USA, with global parts, things like that. This is a bit of a follow up to a video I did probably a couple months ago now on these hyper tough, pry bars that were made in the USA, and they have a bunch of different sizes of these. If you haven't seen that video, go back and look for it. It got a lot of commentary as far as who made these things like that. I believe the consensus was is that Mayhew actually makes these for Walmart, but they're great little pry bars. I've abused them and they're still working. They have a striking cap on there. But anyways, I don't want to talk too much about this because there's already a video about it. But every time I go to Walmart, I tend to kind of just take a look to see what other things are made in the U.S. If there are. A couple things I've noticed in the past, I have a few things here in front of me as you can see, but I've seen this saw a few times, when I go there. The weird thing is sometimes when I see it, it'll have the made in the US, or actually this one is assembled in the USA, factory certified, where sometimes it doesn't have it. So I'm sure, they have a bunch of different manufacturers making this for them. So sometimes, I guess some of the factories are in the USA, some are not. So something to kind of keep in mind. Personally, when I'm paying a premium, I'm buying things that are made in the USA. I like it to actually be made in the USA and not just assembled or with global parts. But for the purpose of this video, I decided to pick up most of the things that I saw that said USA on there in one form or another. I think there was a couple other things there that I saw. But the main thing that kind of got this video started was I was actually out of town last week, and I decided to, I live in California. I happened to be in New York and New Jersey. So I said, you know what? Let me go check out some stores that I'm familiar with to see are they that different on the East Coast versus the West Coast. So I went to Walmart and I had to buy some groceries and stuff. But I checked out the tool aisle while I was there, and I also went to Harbor Freight and Home Depot because why not? And so when I was at the Walmart over there, I noticed that they had a set that I hadn't seen before, at least at my local Walmarts here, which was this screwdriver set. So it's a 6-piece set, made in the U.S. and it says with 60% or more U.S. parts. And the only other screwdriver set I've ever seen there that said made in the U.S. was just a 2-piece set, just a Phillips and a slotted, and it was like $6 or $7 for just those 2 pieces. And I thought, you know what, that's just a bit too much to pay. This set right here is 6 pieces and was about $10 or so, which I thought was a little bit of a better deal. And I decided, you know what, it's kind of worth it to pick up and just see. I didn't pick it up when I was in New York because obviously I don't want to be flying with screwdrivers. They wouldn't let me on the plane. So I was like, when I get back home, let me go check it out. Of course, I went to my local Walmart. They didn't have it in stock. So luckily, I was able to order online, and here it is now. But when I went to go look for this, that's when I found a few of these other pieces that we talked about. So I found this this handsaw while we were there. Also saw this hyper tough scraper that was there, but same thing. This thing is going to be, just assembled in the USA, and then a couple of different levels. So the just this plastic 24-inch level right here again says made in the USA. This one was 75% or more US parts versus 60 on the screwdrivers. And then we had this aluminum, but this is made by Hart, not by Hypertough. Sorry, I can't get that all in frame, but this one just says straight up just made in the USA. What's kind of odd is the ones that are made in the U.S. with global parts or with or assembled in the U.S. Most of them do not have a lifetime warranty. So this level right here, 5-year warranty. A bit disappointing, to be honest with you. The screwdriver is also a 5-year warranty. The Hart, this aluminum one, this one's actually a lifetime warranty. And then these guys don't show any kind of warranty at all. So I'm assuming they're just considered as consumable and do not give you a warranty on there. So, should you buy tools at Walmart? I mean, I would say if you're in a pinch and you have to buy tools, go for it. Would you look for the made in the U.S.? I mean, honestly, there's such a small amount that are made in the U.S. that you know, I wouldn't necessarily go specifically assuming that you're going to be able to find things. Sometimes you do find some pretty good deals. This level, for example, was normally $20. It was on clearance, at least at my local Walmart, for $8. So I actually picked up a couple of them. These things will actually work great for, you know, have a gutter business as well. So when we're leveling things out, especially longer things, you know, this can work. Normally we use levels that are, you know, close to this, the 24-inch style ones right here. Usually I go with the Stanley ones, not the Hyper Tough, but, you know, decided to pick it up. This one happened to be, I think it was $6 over there. But, you know, the screwdriver set I don't think is a bad deal. But one thing that really bummed me out, and you guys, you know, tell me in the comments, what do you think? I would almost rather, you know, go to Harbor Freight and spend the same $10 on a not that dissimilar screwdriver set from here, but now I'm getting a lifetime warranty instead of just a 5-year warranty. I mean, quick note, you know, I have a screwdriver right here from Pittsburgh, as you guys can see. It looks a little bit different than the ones that they're currently selling, but they do sell a set that's very similar to this. I want to say it's a 6-piece set that retails for $3 with a lifetime warranty. And I'm sure I paid less than that for this one guy, because I'm pretty sure I've had this one since, you know, the late 90s or early 2000s. So we're talking about a 20-year-old screwdriver that has actually seen some use on it. You can definitely see some wear, and especially here around the tip, and it's still working perfectly, you know, after 20 plus years. I haven't had to replace it or anything like that. And again, this thing costs a fraction of what these guys do with a lifetime warranty. So of course I love to support, you know, made in the US tools. I always buy made in the US if I can. You know, I love Klein, I love Snap-on. You know, I don't mind paying a little bit of a premium for things, but I'm a little bummed out when I'm paying a premium for a screwdriver set when it's only made with 75% or 60% parts, and they're not even willing to back it up with a full lifetime warranty. So tell me, would you guys buy made in the USA tools just because it says made in the US, even if it doesn't include a lifetime warranty? So that's kind of the, you know, this video is just kind of more about that than doing any kind of review specifically on any one of these particular tools. If you guys would like me to do any kind of review, you know, specifically or comparing these to anything else, you know, let me know. I just wanted to kind of start a discussion about Walmart and USA Tools, and, you know, they're using it as, I think, a marketing gimmick to be able to charge a premium and not necessarily delivering on their, you know, warranty or their promises. So thank you guys so much for watching. Please like and subscribe.